Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up. Special guest here in studio. But first, let's take a look at our weather brought to you by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today, 85, low 75. Water temperature at the end of the pier, we'll talk about it every day. This morning is 84, so it's pretty warm now, so it's a really good time. I've heard a couple of kings being caught, so if you get a chance, check out the pier. The river reading is brought to us by the good folks at Panama City Coca-Cola. Check out our new charts. I know y'all are crazy about them as I am. The Apalachicola at Brunstown is reading a 6.9. So right at 7 foot on Apalachicola, it's pretty steady. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville is reading a 6.4. So both of them around 6 foot. Both have a slow, steady drop to them. So this weekend, really, it should be a good time on both rivers. In good shape there, nothing big coming up. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tides. We talked about this yesterday. High tide this morning at 9:21, and then folks, it starts going out. A fast dropping tide, strong tide to about 9:07. Great tides this week. Some of the best tides of the year are going on right now. All right, and the wind, guess what? Southwest at about 11. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back, and look who's on this morning. Carter and Fred Myers. They were regulars on Panhandle Outdoors, been for a long time. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, is he not growing up? And I come up this morning, who's on the driver's side of the truck?
Yeah,
That's
he's
right.
driving.
Carter driving. How long you been driving?
Since March, turned 16 on March 14th, so
That's amazing.
since that day I've been driving everywhere.
How's he doing, Dad?
He's doing good. No tickets, no accidents, so that's pretty good.
We want to keep that record going. That's very important. Man, be careful. Not you, but we've got a bunch of crazy drivers out there this day and time. Let's get back to fishing. So tell us what y'all been up to. You ain't been on about 2 months. So what's been going on?
We had a tournament recently, last Saturday, a little Emerald Coast Redfish Circuit tournament. And I think you have a picture there.
Okay.
We actually won that tournament, but the weather conditions were terrible. It was lightning popping everywhere.
First place.
But we got it done.
Well, listen, that Saturday was some really bad weather, and y'all were out fishing in it.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is we fished out of the men's club over there in East Bay Saturday, and I think the last 4 or 5 times we fished out of that boat ramp, it's been horrendous weather, and every time I think we've won.
Out of that ramp.
But you know, there's something about weather and the fish. I mean, they just bite, and they I mean, we had the thing about it is it was a neap tide. It was not a very good tide, but the weather triggered those fish to bite. We fished yesterday. I just heard you talk about good tide, and we're on a gaining tide now. And we filmed a little show with somebody else yesterday that was out of town coming to Panama City. And we lined it up. He couldn't fish tomorrow, but we're on a gaining tide, and today is a better tide. But you know what? Those fish just did not bite on a good tide yesterday, and I just can't figure it out. So,
Isn't that amazing? Many fish that y'all have caught, and you know that they're supposed to be there, the tide's right, everything's right, and they don't bite.
Right.
neat tide Saturday, the fish bit like crazy, and then so the key to that, what I tell Carter is, especially fishing tournaments, you just got to you just got to catch fish when you can go. I mean, just make the best of it and go fishing.
That is so true. This is a classic example right here. I mean, they're supposed to be biting yesterday, not supposed to be biting Saturday, but they didn't get the memo.
You just don't know. You just don't know. But we had a really good day. I'm talking about we had pre-fishing before this last week, we had a day that we caught 40-something reds.
Wow. Wow. Here's a picture here. Was these the ones that won it right here?
Those were our 2 biggest slot fish, under 27 inches.
That's a perfect boat ramp and weigh-in station.
Yeah, it's nice.
I really like that side over there. That's really nice. Okay, we got let me see. Oh, okay, what about
Yeah.
Okay, this one here. That's some big fish right there.
Those are Louisiana redfish. They're built a little different over there.
You know,
They're big.
we talk about that.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a little bit different species or something because they look like the broad or something. What do you think?
They don't fight a bunch of tide. They live in these ponds. The water's a lot more fresh, and they're eating different stuff like shrimp and small crustaceans, so they don't have to swim a lot.
Okay.
Our fish are fighting tide and swimming a lot, and it takes a lot for them to get built up like that. But they're if you just make it simple, they're lazy couch type redfish.
I never thought about that. That does make sense. They're
Yeah.
lethargic some and just don't. They snack a lot.
And they don't have to go a long ways to eat.
Yeah.
They don't have to swim. They don't exercise much.
They exactly.
Kind of like me.
Our fish down here, they got to swim all over the place to chase these.
Yeah.
I have not thought about that. That's
Yeah.
a very good theory. I like that. Well, getting back to the Emerald Coast tournament, that's how are y'all doing in that? Y'all getting the fish?
Nah, we're not doing that good in that one. And the reason we hadn't been able to fish them all. We've been traveling fishing the Power Pole National Redfish Tour.
Yeah.
And that picture there was their divisional championship, and we've qualified for the top 50 championship within about 3 weeks. And we're actually leading Team of the Year points, Carter and I, by a pretty good bit, 16 points. I'm almost embarrassed to say it because if we don't win, that means we did something really bad this next tournament. So we're excited about it. But you got some guys behind us that are really good. So we got to keep it going and see. But it's the first top 50 national redfish ranking ever to come out, and Carter and I are leading it.
That's something I've got it on here. We'll show you, but that you need to understand all the great red fishermen here in the southeast, and here y'all are on top of the list. That's incredible. So we're proud of y'all.
Thank you.
We've had a good time trying to do it, and it's real competitive, and it's a fun time.
Okay, let's take our first break and be right back. Okay, well, welcome back. The Red Fishing first place team here. We're talking to Carter Myers and Fred Myers, and I know your dad started you fishing a long time ago. Fraser did, and just kept on going, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, me? Yeah, you talking to me? I thought you were talking to Carter. Sorry.
No,
yes.
your dad.
My dad.
But,
yeah, my
third
dad
generation.
and people. My dad and Jack Laird. I remember when I was little, hiding in the bushes throwing a mullet net, and that's where I learned it. But yes. And now I've tried to pass that on to Carter, and hope I do it just as good a job.
And not only y'all fishermen, y'all like to turkey hunt and hunt.
Yeah, we love the turkey hunt.
You've really gotten into turkey hunting, haven't you?
Turkey hunting's one of my favorite huntings to do.
Yeah.
Other than deer hunting, but turkey hunting is one thing that I really love, especially when you get them gobbling in front of you and get them all fired up and they come in strutting. And
well,
it's
here,
awesome.
we got a picture here to show why he's been very successful. So tell us this story here. This is an amazing story.
So we had 3 birds just like that. We had them on one section of the property. We had them pretty dialed in. We just couldn't get them up there close enough. But we had them on this road, and we found out where they were roosting, but they were really smart. We hunted them several years. They gave us the slip 2 years in a row. But we had them coming in on this one road, walking this one road every day. But it sounds easy, just sit up on the road, they're going to come in front of you. Well, that doesn't work. They did not do that. So we hunted them several times. They gave us the slip. But this one morning, I had them gobbling on the roost, and they flew down and started gobbling on the ground, which they've never done for us before on these 3 birds we've hunted.
Okay.
They've always gobbled on the roost and flown down and got quiet and got with hens. But they flew down and gobbled, got them in the road in front of me, started gobbling, and then went away from me, walked straight away. I'm like, well, the only thing I can do, I can't get in front of them, which you need to do, but I just walked up behind them, hid, showed them a fan, and boy, they wanted to come mess with that. They wanted to fight. They came running down the road.
No kidding.
Lined 2 of them up and shot them. They were gobbling all morning, gobbled in my face.
You shot 2 in one shot.
Yeah.
So you got both of those in one shot.
Lined them up and shot them.
Normally we wouldn't do that, but it was getting into the hunting season. I knew I wasn't going to be able to kill a bird on this piece of property, and so those were the only 2 birds we killed on the piece of property. long story short, that's what happens when you get a driver's license.
Yeah, you just got your driver's
Yeah.
license.
Just got it
2 weeks.
right before turkey season.
That's a celebration, and there's a beard on them. There was,
Yeah, they're both good birds. Both those birds were probably 4.5 years old.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, so then gobbler season ended. Then you really started
Right.
concentrating on fishing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so tell about this fish here. Goodness.
Yeah, I catch one every now and then. I mean, that's not the targeted species. We were looking for some redfish, and that trout was just around 7 pounds, maybe a little more.
Goodness gracious.
But I caught that trout this spring. You can see I was dressed up, still a little cold. But it was a big trout. It was a big trout, about 7 pounds, almost 30 inches. It was
gracious.
long, big trout.
That's nice.
We actually have a story about that trout, kinda. So in the Emerald Coast, he didn't tell you about this, but Saturday they got a little trout division, you know, and most people getting it, and it's got good money in it for a trout. And we're fishing, I hook one right on a gold spoon, which a gold spoon in a trout's mouth, unless you got him behind a bone or something, it just doesn't go good. But he goes to jumping out there. I mean, he's every bit of that size. He's got a big old yellow mouth out there. He goes up under the boat. I get him out. He goes out there and make another run. Pops off. And,
Just gets off.
Gets
pulls a
off.
hook. That trout, I saw it. It was as big as that one, if not bigger. It's a 7-8 pound trout.
Oh my goodness.
So we're starting, hopefully, getting a little bit bigger trout in our base system.
That
so.
sounds good. Yeah, because I hadn't heard a story like that
Yeah.
lately. That's good. And that's what it comes, you know, catching and releasing, a lot of them, that, you know, and that helps a lot. Talking about the point standing and all, this is, I'll zoom in on it, but first, this is Power Pole. Tell us about this. It just came out last week.
Yeah.
That's Team of the Year. So Team Power Pole, Fred and Carter, that is us. Number one.
Number
right now.
one. Look at that, folks.
Yeah, so that's the top 50 in the nation, the people that fish tournaments, and we've been, that's over a series of your 3 best tournaments. So it's not a one-off deal. So we fished 3 tournaments, and I think our worst finish is like a 4th or 5th place. And that's anywhere from Jacksonville to Louisiana. There was one here in Panama City, and then we went to Steinhatchee, and it's tough, but you just got to be consistent. So there's a lot that goes behind earning those points.
You know, you talk about fishing in different places, and we're going to talk about that in the last segment about the things you look for and what makes it more important. But what I got tickled last night looking at, going back to this chart here, the Power Pole is your big sponsor.
Power Pole is, yeah.
I mean, they're good folks.
And they've come out with a new trolling motor that's just second to none. The Power Pole Move. It's so quiet, steers so well, it's powerful. Yeah. And I mean, I just cannot explain the difference in a trolling motor versus older trolling motors.
Really?
Yes, it's 24 or 36 volts. It's a brushless trolling motor. It's got steady steer, which is real responsive steering, and the spot lock, like it, or the anchor mode. If you anchor under a bridge or something, sometimes the older trolling motors had a issue with anchoring in the same place and keeping it steady. None of that stuff. I mean, it's the Power Pole Move trolling motor is unbelievable when it comes to trolling motors.
That's great. Well, I know they're proud of y'all being in first place. Going back to the chart here, look on the left-hand column is the sponsors. So Power Pole is first place, but they sponsor some other guys too. The 5th place team,
Yeah.
Team Power Pole, and then 10th place is, you know, your pro. So y'all, Power Pole, they picked out some winners. They even in the top 10.
Yeah, the other team, Ben Alderman, and
actually 7-4 out of the top 10.
Ben Alderman and them, we travel with them and stay with them. He's a guide out of South Carolina. They're good guys, him and Mikey, and we'll stay together at this next tournament, and we kid around with them a lot, and it's fun time.
Y'all have any inside bets or anything, or y'all?
Sometimes. I mean,
that's just a competitiveness coming out of fishing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch a bigger one than you tomorrow.
Yeah, we try not to overload ourselves too much, but yeah, we do some of that every now and then.
But that's something to be really proud of. You know. So when is the championship?
3 weeks. It's in Hopedale, Louisiana, or Delacroix, Louisiana. Most people know it as Hopedale. And we'll go over there for a few days before and find some fish. We'll probably
hopefully find some
yeah.
fish.
We should. We know the area real well. We'll try to fish maybe a little conservative because, I mean, realistically, with us having a 16-point lead, as long as we finish in the top 16, we win.
Wow.
So
that's got to be a good feeling.
yeah.
Like that,
Well, I don't know. It adds a little bit of pressure. I'll tell you, the underdogs always have the advantage because they have nothing to lose. So you got to keep that in mind. I mean, they're going to swing for the fence because the team of the year for them might not be in their goal. You know, they may be trying to win the tournament at the same time. They may end up coming back winning. So you have to be real careful and fish conservative. You can't have a fish over or have any mistakes.
Yeah. Well, as an old track coach, I'll give you the phrase I used to tell my runners, even if they're ahead, or 2 laps or whatever, lap ahead, whatever. I always told them, run like you're in second place.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Fish like you're in second place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and be right back. Okay.
Had a malfunction.
Welcome back, folks. Nothing knocking the cup off right here, but we'll clean it up after the show. Carter won't mind doing that at all.
Oh, okay.
Fishing game time today. Blue water outriggers, we're looking at 1152 to 152. Okay, we got another picture here. Check this out. Tell us about this picture.
So that's a big Louisiana redfish. So in the tournaments, we're looking for fish under 27 inches, close to as possible. But as you can see, that fish is well over that. It's more about 40-ish inches. It's giant.
That's huge.
So the deal with that is when we go there scouting and fish like this, we trolling motor a lot, and again, the power pole move lets us trolling motor at 4 or 5 miles an hour. So we cover a lot of water, trolling motoring through all these ponds and estuaries, looking for clean water and grass, and I won't let Carter catch any of the slot fish that I think slot,
right.
and vice versa. I say, hey, don't throw it down. And then when one comes up like this, a big fish, and you catch it, I mean, it's a fun time, but a lot of the fish we just pass up. So that's one we were pre-fishing last tournament that we didn't pass up. He was too big, he won't do us any good. So every now and then you got to throw it a few to see what they're like. And those big fish will tell you something, if they're feeding, if they're shy away from the bait, if they've been pressured. A lot of fish that you find won't eat, they've been pressured, somebody's fishing them. And so sometimes you just need to pitch a lure over there to see if they'll eat. But it's a good thing to do on the big oversized fish because you're not hurting yourself the day of the tournament to catch those.
And we'll talk about these big bull reds, how many offspring they can have. But of course, we'll release them here in Louisiana. They don't have to release them.
No, I mean, those big bull reds, I mean, those are responsible for thousands of other fish. So they're very important to the estuary.
Yeah. That's good here.
Yeah.
Comparing fishing in Louisiana, I know you do a lot of sight fishing, and like you say, you're seeing here, seeing there, and all. Down here, the base systems here, do y'all do some of the same or change your technique here?
So here, we don't do much sight fishing. Every now and again you can get a little bit, but here it's mainly casting distance, throwing lures as far as you can. You got to look at it this way. There's no fish between your bait and the boat. So you got to get your lure far away. The boat's your enemy.
Yeah.
This is interesting to me to hear Carter say that, because I never will forget when Fred came on the show for the very first time. I was asking him, Fred, give us some tips and all. And the number one tip he said, cast as far as you can.
Yeah.
And now here's Carter. That tells you something right there. Good point. Now, but you go there a couple days ahead of time.
Oh yeah, we're not going to just show up and try to hope we catch them. We're gonna honestly try to get it. I mean, we're gonna scout, find a place to go, find where we think the most fish are, or the quality fish. There's places that we fish that we've found a lot of fish, but they're not quality, and it doesn't do you any good to catch a bunch of 6-pounders over there in Louisiana. So we've got some areas that we've scouted before, and they hold just in general bigger fish, fatter fish under 27 inches, and generally over there you're looking for 2 fish 8 to 8.5 pounds inside the slot.
8 to 8.5.
So it's a lot of difference than here. Like the tournament we won Saturday, we had 2 just shy of 7 pounds. So that's 14 pounds, 13.5, 14 pounds. You're pretty safe here in Florida. But if you take that weight over to Louisiana, I
You
mean,
don't stand a
you don't
chance.
stand a chance. You
Wow.
got to have 16 plus pounds.
What a good point. And what's the slot over there?
Same, 27. Yeah.
Wow.
Max of 27. I mean, and I mean, sometimes it's got us. I mean, sometimes we got to push it a little bit, and we've measured fish over. But my theory is, if you're not pushing the line and you don't measure one over every now and then, you're weighing the wrong fish, because your competition is gonna they'll mow you down if you let them.
Yeah, and you've also got at times you've taken some in that's been a little bit too big, or you pretty well got it.
Yeah, I mean we are very
Like
detailed. We are very detailed on our measuring board, and a lot of guys don't take the time to line their measuring board up with the official measuring board, so we know pretty much exactly how our fish are going to measure on the official measuring board. And you know, I hear it all the time. Anglers come up there, well, my fish measured on my board in the boat that day. You know what? That doesn't matter. It's kind of like going to work and you weren't speeding on the way, but then the policeman radared you and said you were speeding for 5 minutes, and guess what? You're speeding. I mean, so that's the way it works. It only matters when you weigh that fish in, if it measures or doesn't. And I've been on the other end. I've pushed it, and sometimes I didn't think they'd measure, and I get them up there, and they do measure.
Yeah.
And so it depends on what's on the line for you. You really got to pay attention to what you think. And again, the day sets it up for you. If you've got 13 pounds in the boat, and then you catch, I mean, we've caught some 9 or 10 pounds in the slot, and you need that fish to go with your 7-pounder, which will be 17 pounds. You might want to take a chance, because you're not going to win anything with 13 pounds.
That's
So,
awesome. Okay, well, we're going to keep up with you, stay in touch with you, and all. And I know your game plan, like I say, you just want to catch a good slot size. But we're gonna be cheering for you, and I know you're good about posting, and we'll see.
yeah, we try to post and keep everybody updated.
Well, as always, we always appreciate y'all coming on, and 3 weeks, right? And you got your game plan all set up, so.
No, we don't have it set up, but we will. We'll give it our best.
Well, you got to see what the weather's doing too, right?
Yeah, we got to watch the weather and see what we're gonna do, and kind of plan it out. But yeah, it's
Go
a lot
cover
of
some water.
Yep. Time on the water is the biggest part.
Do you feed Carter well while you're out there? Does he?
Oh yeah.
Sure does.
Oh yeah.
Make
Oh
sure
yeah. We eat good, and
He's a good
I'm glad
boy.
to be able to do it with him. So it's a fun time.
I know it is. We got to get out of here. Thank y'all. Good luck to
Hey,
you.
thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Coach.
Oh, always great to have Fred and Carter. Y'all do something good for someone else today. Have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors. Take care of it. And God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.